Thank you all for joining us today, and as we kick off officially the 30th anniversary of the QBE Shootout. Just looking around the room, it takes a lot of teammates to do this, and so, you know, it's not only with QBE, but our other corporate partners and our volunteers are here, some of our volunteers, of course, the media, we appreciate you so much. Greg, 30 years. It's a great stretch, and each year seems to be refreshing.
Well, it seems like it gets better every year. But I quite honestly, back when I was 33 years old, did I ever think I'd be sitting here at 63 thinking that the shootout back in those days would be where it is today? Absolutely not. But,
by the way, you were number one in the world at that time.
That's good to remember. But you know, I think at the end of the day, it's all about the structure of the event. You know, the players love the format. The players want to come and play. The corporations want to come and get involved. Corporations get involved. Television want to get involved. And so really, the integrity and the structure of the tournament has been sound for 30 years. So when we look at the field today, do we have to look at the field at the beginning when we, you know, had four of us first played, which was Nicholas, Palmer, Floyd, myself. Really, the field is indicative and equal today as what it was back then. And it is, like I said, a reflection on the event. And when you think about 8 of the 24, you know, winners on tour this year, it's just an incredible indictment on everybody in this room here is involved in it. Typical golf course. It's the past golf courses we've been at. It's the past sponsorships we've had. We've got QBE now locked in, and trust me, we went through a couple of years there. We thought we'd never even survive through the GFC. We did because of the teamwork, the Taylor Rise and the management team behind the deal. Rob Hartman sitting beside me here. So we've endured a lot because we are true believers in this event. And I actually think, since we came to the southwestern part of Florida, that this is probably the best thing that ever happened in the southwestern part of Florida, because from an event standpoint, because of the support we get, whether it's the 5K run, the support we give to the military, the support we get from the local sponsors and everybody involved. It's just a great feel. And you know, before we get too deep into it, you know, I think we've got to give a big shout out to the people up in the Panhandle for what they've gone through with Michael. I know this time last year we were experiencing a little bit of Irma, burying her teeth as on this part of the South Florida. So we do send our thoughts and prayers out to everybody up there because, you know, Mother Nature is brutal. There's fires in Colorado that I endured on my property this year, where we nearly lost my main part of my ranch, to earthquakes, to hurricanes, to tsunamis in the Southeast Asia. We humans endure a lot with Mother Nature, but we all support each other like we did here in the Naples area with Irma. And I just want to make sure that everybody up there with Michael gets all the support they get. So, you know, Floridians, we're pretty strong people. I say that. I'm not a born and bred Floridian, but I've lived here for a long period of time. So I love the environment here, and I love what we're doing here. And anyway, back to the QBE Shootout. 12 of the top 50. Again, impressive. We're only naming 22 today. There's the tours, as you may or may not know, over in Asia right now. We're actually talking to a couple of players. It's probably going on, what time is it now? 12 hours ahead, 13 hours ahead over there, so they're all going to sleep. So it's hard for the guys to you know, get in touch with them, but you know, we'll announce the other two later on this week. So with that,
Actually, it will in November.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
All right, before we open it up for questions, Rob, we've got some spectator enhancements and some other outside the ropes information to share.
We certainly do, and as you guys know, every year we're looking to make the experience for our customers and spectators and our sponsors here on the ground more robust than the past. We're really excited to announce the construction of a spectator bridge this year. We have a new sponsor on board, Jasper Contractors, who signed up, and we'll be constructing a bridge from the first hole at Tiburon over to number 9. So any of you guys who've been out here and walk the event, when you make the walkouts in number 1, after everyone tees off, it's quite a hike to follow everyone around the front 9 of this golf course. And so this will provide an opportunity for everyone to scoot across to number 9 and over to 18, or number to 8 and 17, where a lot of our shared hospitality is. So this has actually been something we've been talking about doing for a number of years, and thanks to the support of Jasper Contractors, we can finally do it. And we're very excited to start construction on what will be a very nice enhancement and bridge this year. Secondly, we have a new partnership with Lee Health and the Golisano Children's Hospital of Southwest Florida. They'll be becoming a new charitable partner of our event. And we're also creating a new family fun zone. Every year you guys see more and more families are coming out here. The PGA Tour professionals are bringing out their families. And so just adjacent to the 18th hole, we're going to have inflatables and some interactive activities, face painting, which we're really excited about. For the second year in a row, I'm not sure if Will Lawson is here, but he's the owner of the Naples Beach Brewery. We're going to be brewing our limited edition swing oil beer, which we created last year. We'll be serving that in the brew house up between 8 and 17. So
And in the locker room.
And the locker room. Will's had to quadruple the batch. We did run out of play dining last year. And also, Greg mentioned earlier, military appreciation. Thanks to our support from QBE, our title sponsor. We'll be providing complimentary admission to anyone who's served in the military. If you're active, you're retired, you're a veteran, you show a proof of service, and you can come in. It also ties in nicely to one of QBE's initiatives, which is military appreciation. We will be a Tier 1 sponsor for the local Wounded Warrior event here in Naples in a few weeks. And also in New York, right now, I'll be up there in a few weeks for a celebration event just outside QBE's headquarters in Manhattan. So a lot of exciting enhancements this year.
All right, any questions? And the whole room can ask a question. I may edit one or two. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, James Conlon, Naples Daily News. Could you talk about having Lexi Thompson back in the field, and what do you think about the years Bryson DeChambeau and Tony Finau have had so far?
Well, first, Lexi, she was a fantastic addition last year. She obviously teamed up with Tony. They had a chance of winning the tournament, which was incredible. And look, she's the leading U.S. player. There's no question of what she's done with her game, what she's done with herself, and her career has been extremely impressive. From QBE standpoint and my standpoint, and this region of Florida, they loved her when she first came here. They love the fact that we actually include women in the field, and because of her personality and the way she's accepted and how she drives the golf ball too. She can outdrive some of these guys in the tournament, which I know she can outdrive me. So, but I think, like I mentioned, from our sponsor standpoint, from the support that we get from the local sponsors, they all wanted her back, and I'm just so happy she accepted to come back with Tony.
And then Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, look, Bryson won 3 times this year, right? I think Bubba's won 3 times this year. Tony, I think Bryson is a testament to where science actually works in the game of golf. Not too many people that analytical like Bryson is. He's got the bandwidth of the brain waves to be able to input it into his golf game, and it works. And I think it's a good case study for people who should be able to sit back now and look at their kids who are probably just turning 10, 11, 12, 13 to think, okay, is the way Bryson play, is this the right way to play? If I had to start over again, I would definitely take a look at it, because it actually, the wear and tear on your body is a lot easier with the one length golf club. The science behind what it does, technology, whether it's technology and equipment and golf balls and soft goods and clothing and stuff like that, And what happens on the golf courses with fertilizer and machinery, he's been able to bring technology through science into his game and win on a consistent basis. So that's why I say I think it's a pretty good case study. Tony Finau, you know, the captain's pick in the Ryder Cup, and he stepped up to the plate big time. I think he's probably one of the, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players out there. The quality of his golf and, you know, his demeanor on the golf course is pretty damn impressive. I think he's got a very, very long career.
You mentioned the success that Lexi's had here at this event. Did you guys consider potentially bringing any more women into the field?
Look, it's an open discussion that we have every year, no question. And not only that, we get asked the question from other LPGA Tour players. Who, you know, obviously Lexi talks very, very highly about this when she goes back home or plays with her friends. And so the interest is always there. We look at it. You know, there's a lot of other criteria that you have to take into consideration. This is a PGA Tour co-sanctioned event, so we have to respect their rules and regulations. But at the same time, the PGA Tour has been very, very open about us being able to get Lexi or Annika Sorenstam here.
So the field itself, as you mentioned, is very impressive. You've got a laundry list of some of the best players in the world. What does that mean to you as the tournament host, and what does it mean to them to come here for an event that is sanctioned as it is?
Well, for me, it's a great honor, obviously. I mean, I don't get a chance to even, well, most of the young players, they probably don't know my game or know, quite honestly, what my career was all about, but they do know what I've done with this event and what I've done with my business and how I've structured things. So it's, from my standpoint, it's just fun to get to know these guys. I do try and spend as much time as I possibly can. Some of them kind of get in my ear every now and then about, you know, what I see or what my thoughts are. Every year I've spent time on the driving range with individuals, which I love, to tell you the truth. So it's not all about me, it's just about the quality of the event. Like I mentioned before, the structure, the integrity of the event. These guys and Lexi have a great time here. They really do enjoy the golf course. They really do enjoy the Ritz-Carlton. They never put a key in the ignition of the car. Their families come here. They have a great time. They play tennis. They do whatever they want to do, right? So it's really the soup to nuts atmosphere that really helps them and makes them feel comfortable. And on top of that, you know, we do our best. Rob Hartman and Taylor Ryan and myself, we do our best to make sure all 24 guys and gals are teamed up with the individual they want to be with. And we always get down to one or two that, you know, okay, how do we balance this out? But I'm the captain of the ship, and you know, you got to make sure it gets balanced out the best way I possibly can.
Do you know who Lexi will be matched up with yet?
Yeah, Tony Finau. Well, they finished last year second, fourth.
Do you know who they'll be facing?
Who they'll be facing?
Yeah.
22 other ones.
11 of those, I think.
But we don't know.
We don't know the pairing.
We don't know the pairing yet. That's what you're asking. We don't know the pairing yet. We do the pairings about a couple of weeks ago. Yes.
Can you explain what about the team aspect is so appealing for these players?
I think it's the format, and the pressure's off. Even though the format is similar to what they play in the Ryder Cup, President's Cup, and the Zurich Classic, right? But I think the Zurich, as a team event, actually came on the heels of this event because the players talk about how much fun it is to have a team event. So we're kind of like the tip of the spear in a lot of ways. We actually, you know, created something fresh and new away from a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup 30 years ago. And now the PGA Tour is starting to listen to what the players are saying. So they enjoy the full ball, they enjoy the ultimate shot, they enjoy the scramble. And even though the ultimate shot it's a modified one, again, we want them to have fun. We don't want them to be grinding week in, day out on every shot. So, and they enjoy it. And the golf course, right? Honestly, they love this golf course. And it's a fun golf course to play, whether you're an average player or a hacker or a really good player. the guys love to go out there and they love to play it. So it's a combination of a lot of things.
So you talk about the golf course and the design, how the players love the layout. You're obviously well known for golf course design. What's the current state of that industry look like for you, and are you working on any current projects right now?
Ooh, I think the industry is, I think, fantastic, and I don't know whether, I don't care what your political views are. I think since Trump's been in power, from a business perspective, the deregulation of a lot of things, we're seeing America start to open up again, because the disposable income is there, and that's very reflected in what's happening in the game of golf. Globally, it's extremely healthy. We're doing a lot of work in many different countries around the world. We've opened 105 golf courses in 35 countries and 6 continents. We have 45 under contract. We have 17, 18 under construction right now. So if you want to use that as a barometer, I'd say it's pretty healthy. From our business standpoint, I will say this categorically. We're back to pre-GFC days. With the interest in the game of golf on a global basis. And sure, there are pockets where economic situations aren't as ripe and as good as what you'd like to have them, but that's the same anywhere, at any time in the world. So we're enjoying this resurgence of the game of golf. I think you'll see what is happening in the 2 years of Trump's presidency. It's going to have a real big kick-on effect in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th years going out. And if he gets re-elected, oh my gosh, you know, this country is singing like and I've been here since 81, right? And I've never seen this country as good as what it is today and on the threshold of what it is today. And I'm only speaking for my business. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other people have other opinions about it, but, you know, I just love where we're at right now, from what I can do for my business, and what I can do for my employees, and what the opportunities they see ahead for us, and how we're working with different governments around the world to make golf and hospitality and culture and sport a better place to be. And quite honestly, golf is the economic tip of the spear, the economic indicator that's showing that there's a lot of prosperity there.
Rob mentioned some of the changes that you guys have made to the grounds and making it easier for fans. Obviously, you also have the 5K. Why is it so important for you to be intertwined in the community here in Southwest Florida with this event?
Look, I think it's the way the community has embraced us, not us embracing the community. You know, that was starved for golf when we came here 18 years ago. When we first started looking here 19 years ago, that was starved for golf. And quite honestly, you know, I like to go to virgin spaces, quite honestly, and this was a virgin space for tournament golf. And look what's happened since we brought the event here. You got the LPGA event here right now. We've created a bit of a nexus of things to happen for golf around here. Yes, this was a hard-hit area for the GFC too, right? But now look what happening with golf. Golf is my son's actually on a trip up north of here, looking at another piece of property for us. So you're starting to see things happening here, and it's the people embracing us and not us embracing the people. And we've loved it. We've absolutely loved the support we've gotten.
Anything else? Go ahead.
You talked about some, but could you maybe expand on QBE entering its 2nd year as the title sponsor?
Sure.
That could be for any of you.
Sure, absolutely. No, we could not be more thrilled with our partners. I say QBE. We've got David Moore and Karen Alfonso here this morning with us. But I mean, I'm not afraid to say last year was an incredible year for this golf tournament. I think the energy that QBE put back into this tournament, we're on an incredible trajectory right now. And when you think about alignment of a company who's from Sydney, Australia, worldwide headquarters, their North American office is here in the United States. This event has provided QBE a platform to showcase their brand, really here domestically in Australia. Brands I'm sure you can attest to. They're one of the 4 or 5 most respected and well-known brands here. This was their first foray into sports marketing. They made an incredible splash, and Everything's in an incredible place right now. We couldn't be more thankful for their support.
And I'll add to that, I mean, what I'll say is, we've had a lot of sponsors, title sponsors, in the past, but never has any company been as this engaged and this, desiring and wanting to make this, their input, and how can we make this better? Yes, it's the 30th. We started talking about what we're gonna do for the 30th over a year ago with QBE. So they've been engaged every step of the way, which is, it's a norm. It's probably the new norm right now. And I have not seen this before, and I think it's a breath of fresh air from our perspective, because, we get asked a lot of questions on what we can do better. And if the sponsor wants to make it better, that means they're looking into the future longer than what we would ever anticipate, which is a wonderful thing for golf, and it's a wonderful thing for the QBE Shootout, and it's a wonderful thing for this part of the Southwest Florida.
Troon and Tiburon Golf Club are dedicated to growing the game. Talk about the event and the field, having fun with the format. We added the remastering of the Black Forest family tees, just as a way to help kind of grow the game in that aspect. What are things that you see from your seat that are helping to grow the game? What do you think needs to be done to get kids and to the next generation into the game of golf?
Oh boy, this could be a long answer. Well, first of all, I mean, I'll break it down from a company standpoint, my company standpoint. From our golf course design aspect, we look at many different opportunities that we present developers of what we think we can do or they can do to attract younger generation. To digress from that a little bit, the box that golf was in for decades and decades and decades, the walls are coming down. The walls are coming down because of social media. The walls are coming down because of your iPhone. The walls are coming down because of your Android, right? Kids want to be entertained all the time. Adults want to be entertained all the time, right? We've all got our devices. I can guarantee everyone's sitting with a device in their pocket except me right now, right? So we need to know. We need to have snackable content. We need to have what keeps us entertained. Now, when you think golf is a 4-hour sport, right? And in between each shot, maybe 3 to 7 minutes, depending on what golf course or where you're walking. 3 to 7 minutes, a lot can happen. And you've got to be able to open up technology to everybody. And I'm a big proponent of that. I'm a big proponent of bringing connectivity to the middle of the golf course. We are doing that in our business through Shark Experience. It's been received extremely well, but we're in the infancy of it. I've got great partners, people like Verizon and people like Club Cup. But we identified that virgin space that's been sitting there, and how do we attract? Top Golf has done a phenomenal job, right, of attracting funness to the game of golf. Have a few drinks, go with your friends, sitting in a cubicle area, just go have fun and just hitting. Now, how do we bring percentage of those golfers who've never been on the green grass of the golf course, how do we bring them to the game of golf? If we can bring 20, 30, 40% of the 20-odd million, how many people played with Top Golf this last year? 24 million people played Top Golf. If we can bring a percentage of those to the golf course, millions and millions of young kids are going to experience what it's like up there. Now, we also build 12-hole golf courses. We also build golf courses that are a lot more fun to play today. And I say that in a knowledgeable way because developers are more sophisticated today than what they were in the 80s and 90s when everybody was over 11 and building these behemoth golf courses with 100,000 square foot clubhouses and it cost a fortune to run every goddamn hit, right? It's a totally different game now. It's a more sophisticated, understanding, awareness, sustainable game. So if a developer wants 18 holes, we'll give them the 18 holes, but there's going to be a few things different today than what was happening in the 80s and 90s. So, like I said, long-winded answer. I already just started. I keep going if you want me to, but it's an important aspect of what we do today, not just here in the United States, but on a global front. We get asked by governments all the time. Golf could be a Trojan horse, and that Trojan horse can open up hospitality play. Trojan horse can open up infrastructure play. Trojan horse can open up many different education, training people how to run these magnificent hotels, right? All these things that golf is that Trojan horse can actually bring it to the place. And if you can map it out and make people understand it, it's not just filling a golf course, it's a lifetime commitment. And you actually can create employment and education and economic upturn and become sustainable in how you create that. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm just started on it, and I'm actually really enjoying it.
All right, anything else? Yes, sir.
You mentioned you never really expected it to run for 30 years. What are your hopes for the future of this tournament?
Sitting here when I'm 100. I want to make sure you're here. If I'm here and I'm 100, you better be here. That's the question. That's what I'm trying to say.
Could you talk some about Davis Love being back in the field?
Oh, look, I think it's fantastic that he's back in. You know, David, when was the last time he played? Was it
12 years. 2012.
2012? Was
But
it?
he won with Tom Tyler.
Yeah, many moons ago. So, again, it's the expression of interest that these guys want to come back and play. You know, a lot of the times at this time of year, you have to respect the players who either had a long season and want to have time off, or they want to, you know, going overseas to play like they are now in Asia, or going down to Australia to play, that they do, or President's Cup requirements and commitments. But at the end of the day, you know, individuals like Davis Love obviously have enjoyed this tournament. He's won this golf tournament, and he wanted to come back and experience it again. And again, it's a testament to the structure and the integrity of the event. And these guys talk all year long, trust me, about the shootout and how they can get in the shootout and what they can do and how they can position themselves probably as early as May, June, Rob, about, okay, December's coming up, you know, how do I get into the QBE Shootout?
And then, I don't know if it's a full golf press conference without asking about Tiger Woods, but he won a tournament this year. He's on the Ryder Cup team. Do you see him winning another major?
Look, I'll answer that question this way. I think it's been very impressive what he's done. I mean, you think a year ago, there were statements made by him that he may never swing a golf club again, to where he is today. It's been a very impressive 12-month journey. So I was being consistent saying, I think he, you know, a few years ago, and asked the question, would he win again? I said, yeah, he'd win again, but I don't think he'll win a major. And the performance of what he did a couple of weeks ago or a month ago was pretty impressive. So time will tell. He's on a good path right now.
All right, we got time for one more. Anybody? Well, once again, thank you so much, and thank y'all. Y'all are our teammates, and we appreciate it. And it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.